few times on my walk with God, I used to get so mad whenever I didn't get my way, especially if I feel like I was doing everything right. I used to start freaking out, throwing temper tantrums because I felt like I was being disciplined instead of rewarded for my actions. And I used to make me really mad. I used to get so mad. I used to say, you know what? I should just quit. I should just start drinking again. How would you like that? How would you like if I just knock all these things over? I used to get so mad. And this week I felt that tantrum rising up in me again. And God told me to observe my nephew. My nephew was throwing a tantrum because he was eating an orange with the skin on it. And so his mother took it away from him just to peel it for him. But he didn't understand that. He couldn't see that. So he started throwing himself around, crying, kicking, screaming, because he did not trust that his mother was going to give it back to him. To him, it looked like he was being punished for just trying to eat the orange. He's one. God says, me, you, on the other hand, we're 30, 40, 50 years old and we're still throwing temper tantrums whenever we don't get our way. Whenever something looks like an attack on our lives, we kick and we scream. Whenever God doesn't give us what we want right away, we just start to freak out without understanding the details, without understanding the why. Our attitude says everything about our belief in God, about our understanding of Him, about our trust in Him. And so He said to tell many of you today that you need to calm down. Everything He took away from you was for a reason, because He's trying to prepare something better for you. He's trying to make something better for you. In the Bible, when David's servants realized that his son had died, they were scared to tell David because they thought he was going to freak out. They thought he was going to throw a tantrum. But here's what the Bible said David did when he found out that his son died. In 2 Samuel 12:20, it said, David got up from the floor, washed his face, and combed his hair. He put on a fresh change of clothes, then went to the sanctuary and worshiped. Then he came home, asked for something to eat. They set it before him, and he ate. That was the most nonchalant response ever. And so God said to tell many of you that being king, being queen, a promotion, and elevation requires being level-headed. It requires you to make decisions and accept corrections based on sound judgments, not emotions. It requires you to trust God no matter what it looks like. God is waiting for some of you to stop reacting to every setback, every attack, every correction with tears and tantrums, and to start responding the way that He taught you, through prayer, worship, and trust. If you don't begin to understand this, you're going to live the rest of your life miserably, because the enemy is not going to stop coming after you. You're not going to walk through this life without making mistakes, without being disciplined, without being corrected. But if every time God takes your orange away from you, or you don't get what you want, and you throw a fit, you throw a tantrum, if every time your life is under attack or looks like it's being attacked, and you just start tripping out, then you're spiritually still 1 year old. You haven't learned how to respond to trouble correctly. You are spiritually immature and not yet ready for promotion and titles. God says it's time for y'all to grow up. He said, wash your face, change your clothes, pray, and move on. Don't take every single thing to heart. Don't let it ruin your day, your week. Don't let it keep you down and cause you to start acting out. We are past that now. Corinthians 13:11-12 says, when I was a child, I talked like a child. I thought like a child. I reasoned like a child. When I became a man, I stopped those childish ways. The pressure that's coming with your elevation, the hate that's coming with your elevation, requires growth, requires emotional regulation, not tantrums, or you'll self-sabotage. You'll be cursing everyone out in the comments. You would walk away from God. You would step away from your mantle. So you got to learn to hold your head, because the enemy would have you crying instead of praying, worrying instead of worshiping, stressed out instead of peaceful. David kept his cool with God and went to pray, eat, and be with his wife, and then chill out. And you know what happened after that? He got a blessing right away. The scripture said when he lay with his wife, they conceived a son, and God had a special love for him. God is waiting for some of you to grow up to give you this blessing, to accept that some things is what it is. You can't have everything your way all the time. You are not in control. He is. He didn't take anything away from you that He doesn't plan on giving back to you bigger and better. We even see this in Job. He got twice as much back for his losses. So God said to calm down. Calm down. You too stressed out. You throw in unnecessary tantrums. It's going to be okay. He's going to give it back to you bigger and better. And in fact, He says it's on the way.